everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rochelle and this is DiscoCurlstv. So today we're going to talk about beauty product expiration, really specifically makeup, a little bit of skincare or body care, and hair care. So let's dive right into it. First, we're going to talk about how you can detect when your products have gone bad. Let's really dig deep into the makeup here. So here's how you can tell if something is expired. Does it smell funny? Is the color off? Is the texture different? Has it changed? Is it separating? Does it not work anymore? So things that can happen if you use expired products, especially makeup, you can develop irritations, rashes, blemishes. You can have skin infections, eye infections, lip infections. You don't want any of that happening to you, so it's really important that you follow up and make sure that your products aren't expired, especially if you're using them in the eye or lip area. Now, sometimes your products can expire early, and that can happen by leaving products by the windows that have lots of sunlight. Packaging can get warped. The texture can change from the sun melting it. I think it's just best to leave things in cool, dark spaces like pantries, cabinets, or drawers. That's just going to ensure that your products last as long as possible. Also, making sure that you cover anything or tighten up any caps that need to be tightened up. So now that I've explained a little bit on how to tell if something's expired, what can happen if something's expired, I'm going to show you how you can check your products to see if they're expired. Now, there are a few different ways you can do it, but one of the easiest ways is just checking the product itself. For instance, let me grab this DiscoCurl One Condition Decadence, okay? Down here at the bottom, there is a little open jar and it has a number along with a letter next to it. Now this one says 12 months, okay? That open jar represents the PAO, and that's the period after opening. And that's what you're gonna use to determine how long you have after you open the product until it's expired. Now, not all products are created equal. I'd say some makeup products have a shorter shelf life than, say, hair care or skincare. But let me kind of just go over some of the most important ones that I think people should know about. Let's first start with makeup, and specifically eye makeup, because this is probably the most important one, especially mascara. Mascara should be tossed after 2 to 3 months. Some might argue that you can use it for longer, but it's just the act of opening. The minute you open it, there's bacteria that can get in there, okay? And another bad thing to do is pump your mascara like this. This is not something I use anymore, so I don't mind doing this, but pumping this is pumping air in there, and it's also just pushing more bacteria into the tube. So what you're supposed to do is actually roll it and twist it like this when you apply, okay? And it also dries out your mascara much faster. So 2 to 3 months for mascara. Liquid liners, about 3 months. For any gel eyeliners or cream eyeshadows, they say about 3 to 6 months. Do I stretch that a little bit? Yes, I do. But make sure you keep the cap on nice and tight, and don't leave it open for a long period of time. It just will become a bacteria trap. Now, the great thing about a pencil eyeliner is they last you much longer. These can last you up to 2 years, longer if you choose, of course. But you can sharpen these, and you can also spritz them down with alcohol, and that will pretty much kill any bacteria living on there. If you start to see little white specks living on them, I think it's time to toss it, especially if they're just really hard and you can't really see the product coming on. It's time to let it go. Moving on to complexion, liquid foundations, about 1 year is what they say to hold on to it for. Now, me personally, I am really going to wait to see if it separates. If it smells really, really bad, I'm not going to use it, of course. But if those things aren't happening for me, I'm probably going to hang on to my foundation a little bit longer because they're not cheap. And really, you should just check to see what the little jar says. Like on this one specifically, it says 12 months, okay? But for instance, I have this stick foundation from NYX, and this one says 18 months, okay? And for concealers, again, just check. But you know, generally 1 year is good. This one specifically says 18 months, so this one will last me a year and a half. Also factor in if you're using something that's a more natural brand or organic, they're not gonna last as long. Okay, so I have a couple eyeshadow primers, and this Urban Decay Anti-Aging says 6 months. What? I've had this way longer than 6 months, and I don't plan on throwing it out anytime soon, but let me see if it smells funny. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't think it looks bad. It doesn't smell funny to me. It's not separating, so I'm gonna continue to use it, but it does say 6 months. Isn't that crazy? This Too Faced Glitter Glue is 12 months though, so, you know, really think about things before you stock up and go crazy with the buying of beauty products, because sometimes they expire sooner than you expect. Now let's talk a little bit about powder-based products. So I have powders like this translucent setting powder from Laura Mercier is 12 months, but of course I'm going to use it longer than that. This Too Faced pressed powder is 12 months as well. And my bronzer is 12 months. My Becca highlighter is 24 months. This is 2 years, okay? So, and then this is like the most disappointing part is when you read the expiration on these huge palettes. 12 months? Are you kidding me? Do you think I'm throwing away my chocolate bonbons in a year? I don't think so. And I think I have like an Urban Decay one. I've had these for years. I'm not tossing them after a year. One thing I will tell you though is if you want to just kind of sanitize them in between uses, especially after a year, take a tissue and kind of scrape off the top layer. And I also spritz them down with a little bit of 99% alcohol. I mean, that's the way I prolong my products. I'm not saying that's what you should do. That's just what I would do, because I'm not tossing my eyeshadows after a year. It's $50. Now let's talk about lips. The lip liners, they last pretty long. This Too Faced one is 24 months, so 2 years. And I'd say if that's a pretty general rule. It's very much like the eyeliners. You can sharpen them for the most part and sanitize them with alcohol, and they should last you a very long time. For lipsticks, I'd say about 1 to 2 years. Again, use your best judgment. Is the color different? Is it applying as smoothly as it did before? 1 to 2 years for that. Liquid lipsticks and lip glosses, about 1 year for that. And again, you'll notice if something's wrong with them. Now, when it comes to my hair and body wash and lotion, I might be a little bit more lenient on some of these rules. Let's see. I have sunscreen here that expired on 11/15, and I don't remember when I bought this, but it's expired. I shouldn't be using it anymore. But let's check the texture and the smell and the color. It smells pretty much the same to me. I'd say it's safe to use. The texture feels about the same too, so I'm not that concerned about it. That's just what they recommend, but I think it would be just fine for a few more months. This is my sensitive skin body wash, and it has the actual expiration date in there, which is great. It's 8/2018, so I'm good for a really long time. This is a cleansing conditioner, and the expiration date says 12 months from after the time you opened it. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight as to what some of the guidelines are. I'd say take a lot of these with a grain of salt. You don't have to follow those 100%. I know I don't. There are some eyeshadow palettes and some colors that are discontinued that I'm just not going to throw away, and I'm going to hold on to for as long as I can. I mean, please be smart when it comes to using these products. If you have an infection or an irritation and you're using these products and you know it's contagious, know to throw those things out. They're no longer any good for you. You might bring that infection or irritation back, or you might get yourself sick continuously by using those products over and over again. So what I'm gonna do for you guys is provide down in the description box a list of when you're supposed to toss everything. Now, supposed to. I'll also provide some links to some websites and some interesting articles I read about when to throw things away and why you should. Well, that's going to complete this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.